Hi Pisces friends, I'm Annie Botticelli and welcome to my February 2020 horoscope report for you. We have birthdays starting for you this month. We have the time in the zodiac cycle when the planets start moving into Pisces, so it becomes very much all about you, which is very exciting. We've got residue from the eclipse season, still possibly bringing in big news and changes along the lines of the things that have been brewing over this eclipse time. We've got the wall of retrogrades starting. If you've been watching my reports for a while, then you know I've been talking about this impending wall of personal planet retrogrades that begin in this month of February and extend for the whole rest of 2020. This is not something to be feared, my friends, so I want to just clear up any misconception now. Personal planet retrogrades aren't bad, and they don't have to be anything negative. They can be amazing. They just are better for certain things than other things. The time that we had in December and January was best for launches and big decisions and, making big plans and, taking major actions. And now as we move into this retrograde time, there is a theme of things moving inward and backward. You can still conduct business as usual, and life can still be the same as usual. But what you might notice is that if you keep trying to push at the rate that you usually do, or the extra rate that you were doing when, we just had this open window, you might get things bouncing back off of you. So just let that be your sign that you might have to back off a little bit and move more slowly and think more carefully about things that you're trying to push out and follow the flow and follow the synchronicities instead of trying to force anything. In general, the retrograde time, which is starting this month of February, is a time where you sit back and the web that you wove in the more active periods and also in the past can collect things for you to eat and things to come to you. So in a way, I love the retrogrades for this, where it's kind of like you have permission to just kind of put it on cruise control. You have permission to just kind of sit back and enjoy what you've created and sit back and watch the effects or, experiment with things or, try different things out based on things you already have done the work to bring out. Okay, so this theme is very strong starting in February. We also have the number of aspects that are sweet this month are more than double the amount of challenging aspects. We only have about 5 little bumps in the road, and there's more than 10 sweet aspects this month. So when you combine the energy of things from the past coming in, like the retrograde energy, and along with these sweet aspects, the theme I tend to see is blessings from the past, positive effects from the past, connections from the past. So pay special attention if someone or something comes back to you that you knew prior. This is true for all signs at the retrograde time, but there are certain things that are specific for Pisces, okay? And this has to do with the area of your chart that rules friendships, acquaintances, internet-based projects, so online social media, community-based projects, group-based projects, large organizations, and humanitarian efforts. Those areas can have extra special blessings for you right now, and that's coming from multiple different directions. One is because Jupiter is highlighting that house, and this is unusual at this time. If you've watched my videos for a while, I always talk about those of you in the middle and towards the end of the sign, sometimes with aspects that are like Jupiter as an outer planet. As it's moving along, it's going to hit those of you earlier in the sign first. But we have an interesting situation with Jupiter's transit this time in Capricorn, where it's actually charging almost all the way through the sign of Capricorn before it starts its retrograde, and then goes back over some earlier placements. But what that means is that kind of early in the Jupiter in Capricorn cycle, almost everyone is going to experience Jupiter in the same place. So, and that's this 11th house that I've just told you about, all these acquaintances and friendships and things like that. There's also this, there's just a lot of energy that's going on there. There's a Jupiter aspect with Neptune that's very rare. It's happening 3 times this year, February 20th, July 27th, and October 14th. That can bring extra harmony and extra blessings and people working in the backdrop to support you, anonymous people helping you, things helping you from the intuitive realm to crystallize firm into the tangible realm. That has a special highlight this month. That's starting a theme between now and October. But even that energy is going to be having these links to this 11th house with these friendships and, acquaintances. So if somebody says, you really need to talk to this person, you really need to meet this person, pay special attention to that, because that person could be a segue for something very sweet that wants to come in. And the type of aspect that's occurring, this Jupiter and Neptune aspect, and it will be in effect pretty much all month, even though it actually happens on the 20th, because it's an outer planet transit, and those, have a longer lasting effect. So this energy of somebody helping you is going to be very strong this month. But because of the 60-degree angle with this particular aspect, that's an angle that requires you to actually do something. So if you stay in your house, you don't connect with anybody, and you don't do anything, you don't follow up with anything, you don't call people back, some of the things that you want and need could be coming from those connections. So just remember that and use your intuition. You don't have to overdo it, just kind of discern your way along. But that's a big sector. So the birthday time is a very important time because it gives you a clean slate, it gives you a rebirth, and it gives you birthday wishes. So those of you who are born early in the sign, so basically February born, you're going to have your birthday wishes and your renewal time happening. The rest of you are going to have this happening in March, but you can listen up now so you can prepare for then. So write your wishes down. You get 10 of them according to Jan Spiller, who's my favorite astrologer. She says you get 10 birthday wishes. The sun in the sky represents the things that we want, our desires. And when the sun in the sky gets back to the point that it was at when you were born, it opens a portal for your desires, which is what birthday wishes are based on. They're astrological. So people talk about birthday wishes. They never make a reference to the fact that it's astrological, but it is. So if you do a search for Making Wishes Come True, Annie, you'll see my video that helps you to use this, the birthday wishes and other astrological transits in the best ways. So I won't go more into that, but just know that in the weeks before your birthday, so that's happening for those of you February born in the earlier part of February. Then for those of you more towards the beginning of March, that's happening towards the end of February. And those of you who are, born at the end of the sign, this is going to be happening at the very end of February and into the first few weeks of March, which is that the 12th house, which is your house of fears and uncertainty and addictions and challenges, is going to be lit up. And this is purposeful. So you might feel more anxious before birthday time. It's not because you're getting older, really. It's because this 12th house is getting accentuated. So what Spirit wants from you, it's really beautiful how it's set up, is that all of these things are activated before you have your wishing time. So you can see the things that you don't want. You can see the things you still need help with, the things that are still coming up as issues. And you can get really internal and quiet to get clarity about how you're going to use these wishes. And if you're watching for your moon in Pisces or rising in Pisces, this energy still holds true for you because those houses are still getting accentuated for you in the same way, whether it's your sun or your moon or your rising. And when the sun crosses over the moon or the sun crosses over the ascendant, it is an energy of rebirth for you as well, and kind of like a reinstituting of your intentions and your direction. So this is true for all of these Pisces placements. So there are certain things, all the things I pretty much discussed are the same, are true for all of you, even if they're a little staggered. There are certain things that we've got going on that's going to direct some energy to each of you in the early, middle, and late degree placements. So I'm going to talk about some of those now. The Mercury retrograde is happening, and for every sign, it's retrograde in Pisces. It's got a little dip into Aquarius, but pretty much the main transit is in Pisces. Pisces rules the 12th house. So this 12th house that I'm telling you about that's accentuated for Pisces is also going to be accentuated from the energy of Mercury retrograde. Okay, so, doing inner work, hypnosis, affirmations, healing transgenerational patterning, looking into genetics, healing trauma. That's a huge piece that could be coming up now, and having major spiritual insights and connections from spirit and synchronicity and, energies that are communicating with you from the not as obvious realms. So like messages from animals, messages from, a song that you hear that hits you in a certain way, and then you get this certain understanding, and, things like that that are lesser seen. Look for those things to light up for all Pisces placements at this month. So besides having Mercury in the sign of Pisces, as all of the zodiac members will, those of you March-born Pisces are also going to have this retrograde in the house of Pisces, okay? So March-born friends, you are going to get double doses of everything that we talked about here in the 12th house. The fears, the insights, the bringing up of the trauma to heal and clear it, the using your subconscious mind to create your reality in more conscious ways. And also just possibly the need for more peace and quiet and taking some time to yourself, away from everything. A little vacation, a little rest, a little trip, something like that. Those of you who are February born, you're going to have Mercury retrograde energies in that house as well, but you're also going to have it in the first house. The first house has to do with your physical body. It has to do with your image. It has to do with how you look, the clothes you wear, how you're presenting yourself, what you call yourself. So this arena is going to be coming up for you where questions from the past, you might start going back to a style that you had before. You might go back to a profession that you were in before or that you dabbled with. Things like that. And that can happen for anyone, but there's special energy around it for the February born. The new moon in Pisces is on February 23rd, and so that offers beautiful blessings for all of the Pisces placements. This could be a little bit of a conflicted new moon because we also have a square occurring at that time, so there could be some challenges that come along with it, but in general, the new moon in your sign is a very special time of a new cycle beginning. And if you are a February born person, you're likely to get effects from this new moon, either way, for better or worse, more than the rest of the sign because it's at 4 degrees. And so I usually use 5 degrees, 5-degree orbs. So that's 5 degrees before 4 and then 5 degrees after 4. So that's basically the first 10 degrees or so of the sign, which is basically the February born. So you're going to have that new moon in more direct contact for you February born people. So look out for extra opportunities of new beginnings that may have a little conflict to them that you have to overcome. But once you overcome that, then you can move on from everything. So those of you who are in the middle of this sign, basically like March 1st through March 10th, or we're talking about like 10 to 20 degrees if you're watching for your moon or rising sign, you all are going to have a Jupiter trine. So this is really exciting. So the movement of Jupiter is going to light your energy up in even a bigger way than I've already mentioned with this aspect with Neptune that's working for everybody and those types of factors, because Jupiter is making, I'm sorry, I don't know if I just said the wrong angle. It's actually a 60-degree angle, not a trine. It's a sextile with your degree. So those of you in that bracket are going to have extra blessings from Jupiter. So that means expansion. That means, benevolence. It can mean hard work paying off. It can mean streamlining your efforts where you work less to make more, where you trim the fat and the results are really positive. I mean, trim the fat like from anything. I mean, it could mean that you lose weight. It could mean that you, with your business efforts, you just kind of, and your budget and just your routine, just everything you do gets streamlined and beautiful benefits come from that. Those of you at the end of the sign, you have Saturn making this 60-degree angle with your placement. So this has to do with long-term goals. This has to do with hard work or someone in a position of authority or with resources that can help you with loans or with getting you on your feet, So if you're towards like the 20 to 29 degrees or in like the last 9 or so days of the sign, you've got these blessings from Saturn coming in. So everyone in the sign is having some extra things that are going on for them more than the others. And all of them appear to be very positive. So the one little glitch we got to look out for there is those of you in the February born, having the new moon near your placement is super positive in general. But because of that little conflictive energy with that square aspect, there might be a little bump for you to get the sweetness. And in general, remember that there might be actions that you have to take this month to extract the potentials from what wants to happen. And just because Mercury's in retrograde, don't be afraid to take action. Retrograde time is a fine time to do things that have to be done. Just remember that things that come in at this time could have a shorter shelf life or could be a segue to something else. So just kind of, flexibility is, and experimenting works really well at this time rather than super concrete things. And just know that if you do something concrete, it could shift and that wouldn't be the end of the world. It's just the energies are more kind of short term now. If you make a commitment with somebody this month, get it in writing and follow your intuition. If somebody is saying something but you're feeling them not being on board, trust that, because when Mercury's in retrogrades, as far as contracts or agreements, there's usually more to the situation than you know, and you might make a different decision about it after you find those things out. So progressing slowly through negotiations in the process can give time for those things to be brought to light so that you can, see if you would still make the same decision. But in general, super sweet month for Pisces, birthdays, beautiful aspects with these Capricorn planets, these long-term outer, transits. We've got a lot of focus on your work sector, career, your place out in the world. We still have Mars energy there, also giving you some impetus to get certain things on track for your future and for building towards your vision and towards your present and future security. So if you would like to have more resources to make the most of the energies that are coming, I have so many free things for you. You can go to anniehelpsyou.com. Definitely sign up for my free email newsletter where you get all of the notable aspects written with the dates, what the aspects are, what you can expect from them, plus an overview of the month. This February, I have an extra special offering in my newsletter because I have a retrograde bonus. So I've got lots of things to help you understand the retrogrades and prepare for this wall of retrogrades that is beginning. So when you sign up at anniehelpsyou.com for the free newsletter, you get this in your inbox 1 month early. So it's very exciting. And plus I have lots of astrology blogs, including retrograde, personal planet blogs, maximizing the personal planets in retrograde blog, and for the new moons and the full moons and just all kinds of stuff there. Plus, if you'd like to be an astrologer as your profession, you can go to beastropro.com, beastropro.com. All of these links are also in the notes underneath the video, so you can just click directly there. But I have a crazy comprehensive astrology program where you can become a professional astrologer, or if you just want to learn for your own purposes, you can do that too. So you can check that out there. You can also go to cozybysweetstarlight.com to get written horoscopes by me, again, a month early. So sometimes different things than we talk about in the videos, plus book picks for each sign for each month, depending on, what's going on astrologically. And also wellness, astrology for wellness, and lifestyle blogs and things like that. And definitely go to my new school, Luminous Life Multiversity. If you go to lumelife.com, Lume, life.com, you can see the growing list of courses available through me and some teachers that I'm bringing in. My mission is to have free courses available through the school. And in the upcoming months, more of that's going to happen. So when you enroll in the school for free, you get access to all the free courses. And of course, you can, use the tuition-based programs as well. But as part of my community there, you get access to the free courses. So I hope you have a wonderful month, and I'll see you next month. Bye.